Hello and welcome to today's Oboe Wind-Free Wednesday. Coming up we have Carrie O'Sullivan Holmes, who is a featured artist in tomorrow's I Create Online, titled Life on Mars. But before I talk to Carrie, I wanted to speak with the multi-talented Kenneth Rice, one of the violinists with the Irish Chamber Orchestra. Now Ken has a not-so-secret life in the world of pop, and his own company, Cyber Strings, has provided music for numerous projects both on and offline. Ken trained at the prestigious Guildhall School of Music and Drama in London, and after graduation, the lure of fame and fortune led him to join the psychedelic pop band Engine Alley. Now, I think we won't dwell on this period, Ken. I think we'll just skip over this, just in case, okay?
Good idea.
He's my guest today because he was a collaborator for Life on Mars as an arranger and a conductor. So I did say he was multi-talented. Now, hello, Ken. How are you doing today?
Hi, Matthew. How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. How's everything over there?
Good, Matthew. Really, obviously completely different. It's a big change from what we're used to, and we all miss our audiences and we miss the playing, even though we're doing a good bit of that thanks to the Chamber Orchestra and the Arts Council, obviously.
So you and I have worked together for a fair few number of years in the Chamber Orchestra, and we also worked together doing Classical Failure a couple of years ago. So I know you've done a lot of arrangements for prestigious pop bands and singers, but could you just take a moment to explain to people, what does an arranger actually do?
Well, I suppose in the context of what I do with the Chamber Orchestra, I mean, it really depends from track to track or from project to project. So the example in the case of this song, Jimmy and Carrie's Life on Mars, we had the song, we had their version, very beautiful version. And I suppose it was my job Jimmy and Carrie had allowed space for the strings for the orchestra because it was conceived, I suppose, as that would be the final product. And the question is, what do you do? You've got an orchestra at your disposal, you can do anything. I mean, first of all, there was no point but putting another version out there that was exactly the same as David Bowie's version. I mean, it's probably one of the most famous pop songs of all time, if not the most famous and most brilliant. And, Rick Wakeman on piano and Mick Ronson's extraordinary string arrangements. So, it was a tough call from the get-go. But Jimmy and Carrie had done such a lovely introspective maybe version with Carrie's dusky vocals and Jimmy's very considered guitar part, which actually did cover a lot of the space that the string arrangement, the original string arrangement on Bowie's track took. But then he had allowed space for the Irish Chamber Orchestra. So it really was just a question of teasing that out, allowing obviously Jimmy's and Carrie's performance to be to the forefront. I think that was the most important thing.
The thing I really, as well, get kind of following on from that point about how you arrange something, I was also wondering about the string sound of the ICO and using an established string orchestra, an established string sound. What is it about the quality of the string sound in the ICO that you particularly wanted to bring to the Life on Mars arrangement?
Well, I suppose it's a luxury to work with such, as you say, established and distinctive string sound. I suppose you're thinking of that. That's what you're thinking of. It's every arranger's dream to have quality players in your session, and I suppose that's what we had. We had quality players, and more than that, a focused and a sound that has developed over the years. For me, it's the luxury of knowing that everyone will enjoy that focused sound. But I know, for example, that any line I write will be beautifully played. I mean, that's, I suppose, the essence of it. I tend to, in a song like that, I think I favoured maybe the lower ends, the cello, the violas, and gave them maybe more maybe I was responding to Carrie's vocal, and just the tone of the piece, you know, the tone of the song was, as I said before, more introspective, more not low key, but more thoughtful.
I mean, I've listened to it. It sounds amazing. It really does sound incredible. And they, like you say, you've blended the sound of Carrie's voice and the sound of the strings together so beautifully. Ken, thank you ever so much.
Pleasure, Matthew. Lovely to talk to you and see you, and see you soon, hopefully.
Thank you so much for taking the time, Ken. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Matthew.
Carrie O'Sullivan Holmes has such a warm, comforting voice. It's really perfect to listen to and float away to another world. So much so that she was once asked to sing in front of a really large crowd to actually calm them down. Now, Carrie has performed in venues such as Whelan's, the Helix, Dolan's, the Pavilion in Cork, just to name a few on the list. And Carrie's also supported artists including Mick Flannery, Mary Coughlan and Paddy Casey. So, Carrie, hello, and how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you very much for doing this interview.
It's an absolute pleasure. It's really nice to talk to you. Now, before we talk about your collaboration with the Irish Chamber Orchestra, can you tell me a little bit about what you did before you launched your career as a singer?
Sure, well, I live on a farm, so I'm a farmer, and the type of farming I've been doing for as long as I can remember is equine farming. I used to break horses full time, some thoroughbreds, but mostly sport horses for show jumping. So I would compete novice horses. So I would be the first on their backs and just teach them the basics and, you know, sell by means of potential. That would be the idea.
How did you make the transition from working with horses and on a farm and everything to being a singer?
Oh, well, I'm not sure there has been a complete transition. A few minutes ago, I was on a horse, so I still work on the farm. My husband and I, we run a veterinary centre, and I do all the dog grooming, and I do the where's the and the get the and the what did you do with the that's me, the dog's body, I guess, and I'm happy to do it. So singing, I don't know that I would call it a profession or a career yet for me, I think, or if ever. I'm very happy to have it as a lovely hobby, which seems to be, you know, I guess dovetailing or taking up a little bit more time than I had expected, and I'm very happy about that too.
Right, okay, that's fantastic. So how did you pick Life on Mars when you were deciding what to sing with the ICO? How did you pick that track?
That's pretty sad, that story. Life on Mars is one of a series of songs that Jimmy Smith and I recorded during the first lockdown, which happened in March. And it was chosen to just make a point, just to let the world know that we weren't going to ignore the death of George Floyd in America at the hands of policemen, whether it have been a small thing to do on our part. It felt like the only thing that we could do, you know, and it was just a voice for people who wanted, who just wanted to make a little statement to that effect. Not a very nice reason, but a wonderful piece of work, you know, from David Bowie.
Yeah, I mean, and also I think that it's incredible to use your voice, to use your artistic platform to say something meaningful about the world. So
Yeah.
I really admire that. It's actually a really lovely story. So you recorded live with the orchestra. You were in the room, the orchestra were in the room with you. What was it like singing and sitting in the middle of the ICO string sound?
Yeah, I felt like a pleb among professionals.
Well, that's not what they said.
That's not what they really. They're think I was struck dumb. I don't think I said any more than 2 words to any of them. Sometimes I'm a nervous performer. I didn't feel nervous. I was overwhelmed. They just know what they're doing. Everything that they do seems to happen so quickly and so brilliantly. They just, they got stuff right on the first take. And I think I was worried about making a mistake, because you're afraid that you're going to throw everybody else. It's different to singing with one guitarist. Like Jimmy often catches a curveball that I might throw during a song, and it might be easier for him to do that than an entire set of strings to do that. I don't know whether I did that to them or not. If I did, they didn't say. I hope I didn't.
So at this point, we have to mention the unseen collaborator in this film, Dominik Kosicki of Red Paw Media, who recorded and edited the video. Now, Dominik, I have to say, is one of the RCO's unsung heroes, working tirelessly behind the scenes for us. He actually edits my videos too, dare I say, the patience of a saint. So, Carrie, you'd done the recording. So you'd done the recording. What was it like seeing Dominik's treatment of the video for the first time?
I felt that it was totally unexpected. I didn't know that they were going to do anything other than edit a recording of what was done. I was delighted because I liked the how I felt anonymous in it. And I loved the light beams through it, because the whole thing felt surreal to me anyhow, the whole event. So I think in that respect, the video is apt, Yeah,
it captured the experience. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Carrie, thank you so much for sharing a few minutes of your time with us today. But just before you go, can I ask what advice you would give to someone that's got a great voice, somebody like yourself, that wants to become a professional singer?
Somebody asked me that once before, when they were their child wanted to be a horse rider, and I can remember saying to the parent, I don't think you have a choice in that, because I know that horses are in people's blood, and you're not going to discourage somebody when they've got that sort of a desire in their hearts. It doesn't matter what you say if you're worried about them going into the business, because let's face it, both businesses are difficult. So I later discovered that music seems to be much the same. So I think get as much education in whatever field that you want to dedicate your life to. Get as much education as you can within that field, and everybody has to do what they're happy doing.
Carrie, that's just absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate your time. It's really
Likewise.
kind of you. Life on Mars is a collaboration between the Irish Chamber Orchestra and Ken Rice, singer Carrie O'Sullivan-Holmes, guitarist Jimmy Smith, Paul Ash Brown did the audio, and video guru Dominik Kosicki looked after all the editing and treatment of the film. It's released tomorrow across all our social media channels. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.